Alright, so here we go again. Part 3. And I pretty much have a description and talking about throwing every word I can into any of these videos because none of them are really going to do any good. I think the last video I did on November 29th, a couple of days ago, was viewed by about 16 people. You know, and even if you view the video, who's going to care? Like I said, oh, ha, 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 he's funny, blah, blah, blah. I may or may not want to. They probably just clicked into it, listened to the first 2 or 3 lines, said this guy's nuts, and then clicked off. But that's what you need to do. You need to elect one person who you not just feel is qualified, but can prove they're more than qualified to make decisions over the president's head, over the vice president's head, over the Congress's and the Senate's head, over the Supreme Court's, because this person, meaning me, would be instituting new, not just new guidelines, but new incentives and alternatives that would make this particular country truly a better country. It would probably, I won't say it'll do this overnight, but I will say this, I could probably fix it so that more than 75% of the population that is of adult voting age will own their own home. And it won't be in a congested city, because I'm going to have the help, some of it voluntary, some of it paying, and that's voluntary, really, truly voluntary, to depopulate the cities, because there's just too many people in the cities. It creates too big of a catch-22. There's catch-22s everywhere you look. Too many police, too many guidelines, too many politicians getting reelected, don't have anything to do, so they sit down and figure, well, what new law can we come up with? Comparative example. What new video thing can we add to our computer system, our internet, our library, that would supposedly, some person who supposedly is graduating from college comes up with these suggestions. I'd like to know who the idiot was who made the suggestion to the library that when you want to go put something on, when you go to the library to use the internet, it says internet, you punch in your library card number or whatever, and then you have 2 choices. It comes up with a screen, at least here in California, and the screen says internet, and then the second was word processing. Well, when you're on the internet and you want to make some comments and you want to write something up and send it, one of the ways to do it is to, minimize where you're at, minimize that one screen and hold it at the bottom tab. And then you get the library page there, and on there it says word processing. So in the past, and this is a recent change that took place, you'd press word processing and the computer would automatically go into word processing mode after you saw a screen that said Java loading. So this Java thing would load. And you get your blank page up, and guess what? Type it up, type it up, type it up. Then you're done. You're satisfied with your errors. You've corrected, crossed all your T's, dotted your I's, got your correct grammar, took care of all your misspelled words. Interesting how it's so great that you can do that. You can be the worst speller in the world and just press, spell check, and it corrects it, and even the grammar. So when people get on YouTube, people put me down sometimes. They see they're fault pickers. This is just an offside thing. I'll get back to the library in a minute. And they point and they send me an email and they say, you can't even spell philosophy right, or you can't even spell informal right. And I write back to them and say, I misspell those words on purpose because we all know we have spell check. Who wants to read something that's perfect? I misspell it to see how many people actually go to the trouble of getting so annoyed that they send me an email saying I've misspelled something, and can't figure out in their own head that I'm playing with them. Because if I spell it right, they'll read it and they'll go, okay, and you'll never get a response from them. So see, I found a way around that. Then I found a way of writing in the boxes on YouTube. You only get 500 characters. So I wrote a whole thing on word processing. Then I'd copy that. And then I'd paste it piece by piece in one box after another in one setting. So a person could go onto YouTube, say letters to the president, and they'd read my whole thing, so I'd be able to do 500, 1,500 words on 3 different boxes. Well, hey, they caught on to Caesar doing this stuff, and guess what YouTube did? They went and they kept you from being able to do that. You can't paste stuff in there anymore. Oh, we found somebody that's really on their toes and they found a way around it. Same argument I make about the 99%ers. If you get the government to do this tax thing, they got experts that'll figure out a way how to get around it. So you're protesting for nothing. You're wasting your time. So let's get back to the library. So the library sits there. I go in the other day. I want to write 1-2 different lines for my political pages that I'm going to hand out to people, you know. Caesar for Emperor of the United States, creating a new office over the presidency, over the Senate, over the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court is very important. This office over the Supreme Court is very important. I'll tell you why. Because a poor person like me, his rights get violated, and I got to go and get a second job to pay $300 an hour to a blood-sucking attorney to file a lawsuit at the local level, not win, of course, because you can't fight City Hall and win, actually, unless you've been in a terrible accident where they're obviously responsible, like that train wreck with Amtrak a few years ago. And then, listen to the slavery. Somebody violates my police violated my civil rights many times. The building safety violated my civil rights many times. All these people violate civil rights, and you have no protection. And you have 6 months to a year. You can't sue them directly. You have to sue the city. So even if you're mad at building safety, even if you're mad at the police department, you have to sue the city. The city gives you 6 months to a year to file your case and do something about it, or you lose all of your civil rights. Even if your civil rights were violated, like Rodney King. I'm going, when you violate person's civil rights, you derail them from the trail they're blazing for themselves. They're making a success story in their own way, and now you've taken them off their path. That's like murder. You're killing them. You're taking their time away from them. So listen to how slavish this country is becoming, more and more. So I didn't get off the track. This is all, if you replay it, you'll see that I'm still on track. I'm just putting all the pieces, forcing them together so that you can see the whole picture all at the same time. So go in the library. I want to draw these 2 lines, just 2 lines. I could do it on a typewriter, but all my typewriters are all in storage, stuck in places where I can't get to them. And this new thing is on there. You have to have a Google account. To what? To word process at the library, I have to have a Google account? What if I don't want a Google account? Well, no, you don't have a choice. Oh, I see. So now this becomes a communistic country, even in the library. I have to have an account. On Craigslist, when I've tried to sell something, you now have to have a telephone. What if you're homeless? You don't have a telephone. You don't have a telephone at home. You can't afford a mobile phone. You have to have a phone number because of that one guy who attacked that woman and killed her woman through Craigslist. People are getting killed all the time. That shouldn't be a prerequisite. People are smart enough to, once that happens to be a lot safer for themselves, to be a lot more careful. No. They put on Craigslist, you have to have this telephone to put your ads in there. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. You're the idiots. This is why all my videos point at American John Doe on the street, Jane Doe on the street, the average U.S. citizen being a total moron and an idiot because you're letting them herd you like cattle into this box. The 500 characters on YouTube you can't paste in there anymore. The word processing to make it more complicated, to make it harder for people to write things. These people are, I wish I could use every cuss word, not just in my language, but in every language on the planet and in every language in all the alien worlds throughout the whole universe, if there are any. All those cuss words against you people. Because it's you, the people, that are allowing it to do it. You don't need to listen to me consecutively over and over again to hear this stuff. The reason I do these videos is I'm waiting to see when Google is going to say, okay, you have 15 minutes on each video, but you're limited to only 100 total videos on YouTube. I'm waiting for that axe to fall. These people are nuts. Sincerely, heartfully, compassionately, I'm telling you, you're nuts if you don't follow me, if you don't take my YouTube and literally support me as absolute dictator, emperor of this country. I already told you, I already did it in 1996. I'm already symbolically the emperor. And the reason I overthrew the country and gave the United States of America a new name, the United States of Turtle Island, is because it was in reverence to all the children that your tax dollars have killed and maimed. If you look at my first videos in March of 2009, I showed you color pictures of the children who don't have arms, don't have legs, they're all bloody, they're laying in a hospital bed in Iraq and Afghanistan because of some American bomb that was fired. You're the evil ones, and you're going to have to make amends for it. You better hope that there isn't a God, because I guarantee you, if I really was God, I'd condemn all of you, every last one of you. And what I would do to all of you for not listening to me when I gave you the warning. Remember, the Bible talks about these trumpets being sounded by angels, telling you the warnings over and over again. The children in Gabriel who had those visions, those anomalies that were happening were warnings. The Washington Monument cracking and the earthquakes happening. These are warnings by a much bigger entity. I call it the dark matter anomaly of the universe. That's what I call it. Go look it up in an astronomy book. I'm not going to explain it to you. If you've got brains enough to pay your rent like a slave, to pay your mortgage, to pay and put up with this crappy, contradictory system of evil, then you're smart enough to go look it up in an astronomy book and figure out what I just said. Because you're the evil ones. You're the ones that destroyed 30 years of my life. You're the ones that murdered me, murdered my time, my energy, took my motorhomes, my cars, my boats. You took everything from me and left me, what, on the street? With approved storages, nothing to be left outside. Oh my God, it might create an eyesore and someone will have a terrible time. If I was God, I'd make all of you taxpayers who have paid money for the Iraq and wars and Vietnam and Panama, anyone that paid tax money, I'd make you blind for the amount of time that you were paying taxes to kill and bolster, to kill all the children that you that source of origin was you, the American citizen. You paid those taxes, you're responsible for the deaths of those children that will never get a chance. And remember what I said in all my other videos? I don't believe in that kind of God that you people believe in. And I don't believe that people killing someone is wrong because religion says it's wrong, or the Ten Commandments says it's wrong. No, you shouldn't be killing because now you are intelligent enough to realize that with genetics, that when you kill someone, you're killing a possibility, a Russian roulette possibility of another Einstein, another Joan of Arc, another Gandhi, another Eli Whitney, another Isaac Newton, another Stephen Hawkins. Every time you kill someone, you kill that chance for us to evolve to a better world from someone that might find that discovery. So you think about that. You think about how you're killing people, how you're making life more complex, not more easy. And you need a brain, a super brain, to be up there above every last one of the governments in order to set things right. We'll go to part 4 in a minute.